Welcome, episode 19 of Dalton's Thrift Store Explore. I'm Dalton. Spring has finally sprung. So, what does that mean? That means yard work. That means grass cutting. Got to do some raking the leaves out of the garden beds, getting that stuff cleaned up, trying to get some stuff cut down before it starts blooming. So, I had a little surprise yesterday. I was cutting my backyard and going down the back, and I found an alligator in my backyard. So this was like a 3, 4 foot alligator. Fortunately, it was just somebody's pool float that for some reason it has been really windy here lately, and evidently somebody's pool float flew out of their pool into my backyard. So we had a 3, 4 foot alligator pool float in the backyard. I don't have a pool, so I didn't need it. I don't know whose it was, so now Rumpke's got it. So I didn't need it anymore. Also, this month is halfway to Halloween, so I do listen to a podcast, um, Halloween podcast, and there's a difference on when halfway to Halloween is. So they are indicating that halfway to Halloween is actually the end of May, because that would be 5 months. So my halfway to Halloween is April, because I count starting in November. So it'd be November, December, January, February, March, April. So my halfway to Halloween is now, and we have went through the Halloween franchise. We went through 1 through 6. The only one we haven't seen yet is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which is one of my personal favorites. Um, so that one will be coming up here soon, maybe this week. We'll check it out. So what has been happening? We've had a couple college acceptance. Um, I've had stepdaughter got accepted to college. My stepson got accepted to college, and my niece got accepted to college. So it's an exciting time. Everybody's headed off to college in the fall. So we will be preparing for that over the summer. Um, Bowling season is finally over. Um, so in our league, what happens is we have 2 sessions. We ended up winning the first session, like we had like 2 weeks to go in the session, and we already had it wrapped up. Um, the second session, we did not fare so well. We ended up last. So we went from first to worst. Luckily, because we won the first half, we got to bowl in the end of the year roll off, where we ended up second. So all in all, it was a pretty good season. Ended the season with a 220 average, which I haven't averaged 220 in a while. So it was nice to see get back over that hump of 220. It's been a good week for sales. My wife has spent a lot of time going to the post office, dropping stuff off. So they may get to start knowing her by her first name on a one-on-one basis. When they see her come in, they know what she's there for. So we had a good week of sales. Going to take a couple weeks off. I'm going to be bowling out of town, so I don't want to keep any sales live and then somebody buys something and I can't ship it out until I get back. So we'll put that on vacation mode for a while. And apparently, my son now has a green thumb. He sent me a picture the other day of some flower beds that he built. It's pretty neat. So I'm excited to see what he's got planned this year for his house. Um, we'll see what he does with that. Um, so I haven't got a chance to get a light for this thing yet. Some point I'll make it to Lowe's. We've kind of been busy. Some point I'll make the Lowe's. I'll get a light. I swear I will have this lit up for you next episode. So that'll be an episode 20 surprise. I'll get this thing lit up. So that's what's been happening. Hope everything's been going good on your end of the world. So now we did visit the St. Vincent de Paul. We did visit the Valley Thrift Store. And we will show you some of the items that we got stashed over here. And we'll tell you about some things that we saw that probably end up in the thrift store and belong in the thrift store, but it's kind of those things where you're like, I'm gonna take a picture of that. Um, so uh, it just was some weird, it's just some weird stuff that you would expect to see at the thrift store. So this part of the episode, I like to do this segment, my beer of the month. So what I did is I went back in my previous episodes, and I thought when I got this beer here, which I'll show you in a minute. Hold on. Um, I went back in my episodes and I thought, is this a repeat? Um, so I'm trying not to repeat beers by month. Um, so I went back, made a list, and this is not a repeat. So we're going to show you what we got. Now we did have another one from this brewery. It was I think it was a carrot cake, like Carmel's carrot cake or uh, Carmen's carrot cake or something like that. Anyway, this is the same brewery. So what we got is we got Sonder Brewing out of Mason, Ohio. So this is the Rally Cap Irish Red. Um, as you know from previous videos, one of my favorite beers other than IPA is an Irish Red. And this is a Rally Cap Irish Red, so it goes great with the start of the baseball season. Um, so it's actually a nice beer. So if you're out there and you can find this, pick it up because it's really good. Um, so other than the Sonder Brewery, I've had a couple that are pretty good from them. So that's Rally Cap Irish Ale. Alrighty, St. Vincent de Paul. Nothing of significance went on there. Um, we kind of last month when I went, um, we kind of found a couple things, but this month, I think that place is going to be best looking for clothes because I was looking at dress clothes, like dress shirts, pants. What I like about that is they actually try to actually color coordinate their dress clothes, like their dress shirts. So if I'm looking for a specific color, that's going to be perfect to try and go find it for a great price. Um, Now they do have this big knickknack section, which it is labeled. So they do have like a Christmas, they have a Halloween, they have a fall, but it's organized, but it's not organized. You just have Christmas, and that's it, and it's thrown on the shelf. Um, then the same thing for Halloween and fall. Like it's there, so you gotta rummage through it, and I didn't feel like it. So, but we did go look at some clothes. I thought maybe I had a pair of pants that I was gonna get, but nope. They didn't fit right. Um, let's see. My wife found a dress for my stepdaughter for like concerts, black, and she didn't like it, so that's going back. So we will donate that too. It was only $5, so we decided it's only a $5 loss if she doesn't like it. So that one's going back to the thrift store. So we will donate that back. Other than that, well, we did find. I thought I've seen this shirt somewhere else. I probably. So there was a yellow shirt. If you go on my Facebook page, Dalton's Thrift Store Explorer, you'll see it. So it's a baseball player swinging for a home run, and it says touchdown. So I should have got it because it was only like $4.99, but we thought it was funny, so we took a picture of it. It's up on the Facebook page if you want to go check that out. So then we did go to the Valley Thrift Store, and we did find some things. In that place, so on the 50% off days, it could get kind of crowded because everything's 50% off, and people show up for that. It's usually on a Monday, because that's when most of the holidays are that they have their sales. But we've looked and we've decided that it is better to go. We went on a Sunday and it was not very crowded. And they do have these, like the color discounts. So they have like 25%, 50%, 75%, depending on the color. So that's good because you at least if you look for the specific color, it gives you a chance to like you still get your 50% off. You can find the right color. Still get 75% off, which is nice. So we think that maybe just going on a Sunday, on a Saturday afternoon, or it'd be less busy. So that'll probably be what we'll be doing. So let's see what we got. So the first thing we found was this candy dish, and we were looking at the bottom. We're like, what does that say? You really can't see it. It's up here, so you really can't see it. But it's Hershey molds from 1981. Maybe you might be able to see it if you move the light and the video around a little bit, but it's there. It says Hershey molds on it, 1981. Look, and I did some research, and it's like an old candy dish, but I liked it because it's in a really great condition. I like the picture on the front. It's very detailed. It's textured here. Looks like fishing is happening. It's just a nice little picture. It's in really nice condition. So we'll do some research on that. Let's see what we can get. And then going down the aisle, so on there, they have of course, they have their knick-knack aisle. So when you make the turn and go down the first aisle, it's all electronics, like scanners, keyboards, computer screens, everything that you don't need. But at the very end of the aisle, before we make the turn to go down the first aisle of knickknacks, this was actually hiding right on the corner, and I was like, I gotta get that. This is Jim Beam Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is a nice bottle here, this decanter here. It is in really nice condition. Usually the ones that I've seen, I've gotten a couple that I've sold, this label is off of it because it's just been worn. And but this label is super intact. It's readable. I don't know if this went anywhere besides somebody's shelf after they emptied it. But man, it caught my eye, and I thought, oh man, I gotta have that. Frederick Remington is the picture on here. And you could there's actually a little story on the back of Frederick Remington. So I'm gonna look up and see who that is. But I thought, why is this? I thought the other two that I got were cork, and the cork was totally gone. It was actually inside the bottle, all crumbled up. But somebody still bought it. Of course, it's unsealed because it's the only way you can get it. But this is a twist top, and I thought, oh man, that means there's probably no cork. I don't see one, and it is really a beautiful bottle. So somebody is going to be happy when I put this up on some of the sites. And then, of course, me having to wear ties to work, I saw this tie. This is a Disney Goofy Kiss the Chef tie. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I may keep it because I like it. My wife's like, oh, you should really keep that one. I've had some success with selling ties, but with people not wearing ties really for work anymore, it's more of a collector's item. So this I will probably keep and wear because you know what, I like it, and it's goofy. It's goofy. So that'll probably go upstairs in my little collection of ties that I get to wear to work. Okay. And this, I saw, now this one was just laying on top of a bunch of stuff, just laying there. And I didn't know what it was, and I picked it up. I said, what in the world? And this is, I'm going to have to probably, this is New England Patriots. This is a wool banner that I got for a big whopping $3.99. But the ones, I did some research. See these here? And the ones that I've seen only go down to 2000. But this has 61, 93, 2000, and then 2013. And this thing is in really nice condition. There's no snags, there's no tears. It's nice and it's really, really nice. So there's got to be a New England Patriots fan out there somewhere that would really, really like this. And then these things. Let me tell you about these things. So we were going by. There's, when you go by yourself, you go down the aisle. Um, there's one of two ways you can do it. You can go really slow, looking back and forth about that. Go up the aisle one way, or come back the aisle and look at the other side. When you have two people, you've got two sets of eyes, and I don't think I would have saw these. If I did, I probably wouldn't have picked them up. But my wife saw them, and so we were like, these look old. And in fact, they are kind of old, but they are this. It's from. So we actually did some research. So there's one. We actually got the doubles of this. We thought there has to be an artist signature somewhere on here. Where is it? So it looks like, so what happened was somebody took these and put them behind this frame and glued it. Why would you glue that? I don't know. But they did. So they actually had two of these. So we thought, you know what? $3.99. We are going to buy both of these, rip the one up, and find the signature. And we did. It's kind of faded. As you can see, we destroyed the hell out of this one. But we did some research, and you can see, like, why would you glue that? It's such a nice. So at the very bottom here, you really can't read it. It's kind of faded, but it's the signature of Horatio Renteria Rocha, something like that. So we looked him up. He is a Mexican artist. He was born in 1912, died in 72. So we are going to try and figure out if we can take these somewhere and have somebody professionally get this off, get these frames off. We don't know if there's this one here. Let me show them to you. This one. There's this one. And then there is this one, right here. So, I mean, they're old. We don't know if they're originals, if they're reprints. We don't know, but we thought they're super nice. Thanks for my wife for having a good eye and finding them and saying we should pick these up for $4, even if even if they're reprints, like $50, like in 16, sell them for 50, like whatever. I've spent less. We have spent 16 bucks on something else that's stupid. So might as well get them. They don't need to be sitting on the shelf. We'll figure it out. So there. So we did. I was looking at shirts, and my wife came over. She said, "You have to see this. Pictures don't do it justice. You've got to come over and look at it." So we did see a Santa Claus birdhouse, which was not appropriate. So why would you put the birdhouse? Why would you put the entrance as the mouth? I would think you would want a full face and maybe put it back here where it could get in. Like, I don't know. You don't put it here. But I did see this George W. Bush bust. It looked like a big bobblehead. And it was George Bush. This little body that was about this big, and he had this big head. I should have taken a picture of it and put it up on my Facebook page, but it was George Bush. This little tiny body, big head, and it was in nice condition too. But for $150, I'm good. So that's it for all the stuff from the thrift store. I finally finished the Tales from the Crypt series. Wouldn't you know, I finally got season 5 to finish this series. And then Shudder comes out this week and says, hey, guess what we have the rights to? And we're going to put on Shudder on the app. Tales from the Crypt. So it figures. But it won't stay on there forever. And I have these forever. That is the love of physical media. And these don't have commercials. And I will have these forever. And Shudder won't. But I love Shudder because they have some really cool Halloween stuff. And they got Tales from the Crypt. So, and one of those things, I may just put it on one day and just watch this episode. Not have to come down and get these, but yeah, so I finally finished this. That's it. That is all I have. This is a longer video. So go check out my email, Dalton's Thrift Store Explore at yahoo.com. Go check out the YouTube, Dalton's Thrift Store Explore, Facebook, Dalton's Thrift Store Explore. My wife was talking about getting me on TikTok. I'm not a TikTok fan. That's just more crap I got to look at. So we're good where we're at. Email, YouTube, Facebook. So until next time, happy hunting and stay thrifty.